Come on in, pull up a chair, and make yourself comfortable. Today, we're going to dive into animal versus plant protein after 50. And really, this is your doctor's guide to staying strong. I want you to treat our time together right now as a personal, one-on-one nutritional consultation with me. We are going to build a clear, simple roadmap to keep you strong, active, and totally independent as you age.
So let's jump right in and talk about a feeling you might know all too well lately. Have you recently caught yourself wondering, man, why does walking up the stairs suddenly feel so exhausting? Or maybe you've noticed that just standing up from a deep, low sofa takes way more effort than it did even just a couple of years ago. Listen, I want to validate exactly what you're feeling right now. It's not just in your head, and it is absolutely not some kind of personal failing. It's a biological reality. So many of my patients sit right where you are, feeling so frustrated by these everyday physical struggles, thinking they're just, getting old. But the real culprit? It's usually hiding right in plain sight.
What's really wild about this is that these symptoms, we're talking muscle weakness, walking a bit slower, getting winded super quickly, weird random aching, losing strength in your legs, or even just feeling a little wobbly on your feet, they often happen to folks who genuinely believe they eat a really healthy diet. You might be eating a ton of veggies, skipping the junk food, keeping your calories low, and yet you still feel this undeniable drop in your physical power. Well, here's the kicker. The disconnect happens because a diet that kept you perfectly healthy at 35 is simply not giving your body what it fundamentally needs at 60.
So, what's actually going on here? Well, in the medical field, we look at something I call silent muscle loss. Once you hit 60, a huge shift happens in your biology. Your body just stops absorbing and using protein like it used to. It's called anabolic resistance. Basically, your ability to maintain muscle drops and you start losing it silently, year after year. It's kind of like trying to fill up a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, it just keeps draining out. Because your body processes protein so poorly now, we have to change our strategy. And here is a massive clinical secret for you. You can't just eat one giant steak at dinner and call it a day. Your older muscles literally cannot absorb all that at once. You have to actively divide your protein out evenly throughout the whole day. A good chunk at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner, so your body has a constant, steady stream of building blocks to actually work with. Now, this brings us to a huge roadblock, and it's a myth I hear in my clinic almost every single day. Patients tell me, "Doc, I should just eat less to be healthy." Since our metabolism slows down a bit as we age, it feels super intuitive to just shrink our portion sizes across the board, right? We think eating like a bird is the graceful, healthy way to age. Actually, scratch that. Sweeping calorie restriction, eating less of everything, especially protein, is quite literally one of the most dangerous things you can do for your longevity. I need to give you a very clear medical warning here. Eating too little protein acts like a fast-forward button on that silent muscle loss we just talked about. It rapidly saps the strength right out of your legs, and it drastically increases your risk of falling. And let me tell you, in my world, a fall after the age of 65 is a life-altering event. We've got to completely reframe how we think about this. Eating enough protein after 50 or 60 has absolutely nothing to do with getting a beach body or looking like a bodybuilder. It is strictly about survival. It is about maintaining your freedom of movement. We want you strong enough to carry your own groceries, get down on the floor with your grandkids, and keep your total independence. All right, let's move right into our protein prescription, animal versus plant. Let's see how we actually build this into a treatment plan for you.
These two types of protein are not entities. They have totally distinct, complementary jobs. Think of them as two different tools in your toolbox. Animal protein's superpower is that it absorbs super fast, and it's packed with an amino acid called leucine. Leucine is literally the ignition switch that tells your aging muscles to wake up and grow. On the flip side, plant protein's superpower is that it's loaded with fiber, it actively cools down systemic inflammation in your body, and it is incredibly gentle on an older digestive tract. Like I said, they are two halves of one complete medical prescription. So let's talk specifics. What are the best animal proteins to toss in your grocery cart? We're talking high-quality, nutrient-dense stuff. Eggs, fish, chicken, Greek yogurt, and lean beef. As doctors, we highly recommend these for older adults because they give you a complete amino acid profile.
When you eat a nice piece of salmon or a cup of Greek yogurt, you are delivering that crucial leucine straight to your muscle tissues, giving them exactly the firepower they need to fight off muscle loss and keep your legs strong. Now let's look at the other side of the coin. A lot of folks mistakenly think plant protein is somehow weaker than meat. But just look at the underlying health conditions that hit us after 50. For these, plant proteins are practically medicinal. Beans and lentils, absolutely phenomenal for dragging down high cholesterol. Tofu, it's a powerhouse for fighting chronic joint inflammation. Oats and seeds, they work wonders for stabilizing your blood sugar if you're managing diabetes, and they help bring down high blood pressure. Plus, so many of my senior patients tell me that eating more plant protein just leaves them feeling lighter and helps their digestion run like clockwork compared to heavy meat-only meals. So, what's the ultimate verdict here? The big secret I want you to walk away with today is that it's absolutely not about choosing a side. Please let go of any guilt or confusion from those extreme internet diet wars that scream at you to be strictly anti-meat or totally anti-plant. Your body doesn't want extremism. It craves a smart, balanced combination. It wants the fast muscle-building power of the animal protein right alongside the healing, anti-inflammatory magic of the plants. Let's pull out my prescription pad and put this into practice in the real world. Here is how you can beautifully combine these proteins every single day. And remember our golden rule. We are spacing these out morning, noon, and night. For breakfast, how about a couple of eggs for that fast-absorbing leucine, paired with a bowl of warm oats for that heart-healthy plant fiber. At lunch, maybe a chicken salad mixed with some hearty black beans. For a quick snack, grab some Greek yogurt and throw a handful of chia seeds on top. And for dinner, a nice piece of roasted salmon served with lentils and veggies, or even a comforting, savory bowl of tofu and quinoa. By mixing and matching like this, you're getting a steady, easily digestible, and incredibly powerful dose of nutrition that keeps your muscles fueled up all day long. I want to remind you why we are focusing so heavily on this today. The goal here isn't to force you into some miserable, perfect diet, not at all. It's just to encourage you to eat a bit more quality protein and get your body moving a little bit every single day. Because preserving your muscle mass, it literally impacts everything. It gives you the energy to not need a nap at 2 p.m. It improves your balance, keeping you safe from falls. If you do get sick or need a surgery, having muscle drastically speeds up your recovery. Believe it or not, moving those muscles even protects your memory and brain function. But above all else, it gives you confidence. The confidence to know your body is strong, it's capable, and it won't betray you when you want to step out the front door and live your life. I want to leave you with a thought that I share with all my patients. Aging well isn't about trying to live forever. It's simply about being strong enough to actually enjoy the life you love. By ditching that old eat less myth and embracing the combined power of both animal and plant proteins, you are taking the wheel and taking control of your future. So when you look at your plate tomorrow morning, what's the very first change you're going to make to start reclaiming your strength?